dames en heren, welkom in Amsterdam.
Hi, I'm Emma, the team coordinator of the Region 31 management team, taking you on a trip through our quartet of nations. Our region covers the Netherlands, England, Wales and Scotland. And the best way to travel is by rail. So, get your rucksack packed and rail passes ready to board the Region 31 Intercity Express.
Welcome to the tour of No Border Show Chorus. I'm Katie.
And I'm Merle.
And we're going to take a look at our rehearsal venue. As you know, No Borders rehearses only once a month and we have members from all across Europe. So once a month we meet up in Holland in a little village called Maasbree.
You might have never heard about Maasbree. It's very tiny, and if we drive here, we only have to look out for the most significant landmark, which is
the church tower right behind us. Ta-da!
There it is!
So welcome to our rehearsal location, which is an activity center where we have our most favorite activity once a month.
The second time we've rehearsed at this venue. Well, we love it because it's a playground and our front row gets to practice before rehearsal so that we're completely warmed up for all the choreography we need to do. There we go! As we rehearse all day on a Sunday, we have to have some lunch. And usually we have two options. We order some lunch for here, or we bring our own lunch and sit out in the sun with our friends.
How lovely is that?
So enough about where we rehearse, it's time to start singing. Let's go! Woohoo!
We're now going to cross the English Channel and say hello to our choruses in the UK. Let's start with the ones in the southeast.
Hello, we are Viva Acapella from Region 31. Over the last year and a half, our location, like many others, has been on Zoom. However, we have in fact secured a new rehearsal venue since we were last singing live together, so your tour is also a chance for us to get to know the area. Our new venue is this beautiful church in Bickley, southeast London, or more accurately the church hall next door. We officially moved in with a small team in May 2021. Our nearest stations are Bickley and Chislehurst. The surrounding area of Chislehurst is mostly known for its caves, some 22 miles of intersecting man-made tunnels and caverns. They were originally created for mining flint and lime-burning chalk, but during World War I they were used as an ammunition storage dump associated with the Royal Arsenal at Woolwich, and in the 30s they were used for mushroom cultivation. Both Bickley and Chislehurst have direct links to central London. Many of our members travel to us from London, and we've even held one of our biggest concerts here in September 2016, where we had World Mixed Champion Quartet Double Date as guests. As a chorus, we love competing in Region 31, and we've been fortunate enough to qualify and compete at internationals 3 times in 2013, 2016 and 2019. We also have many members who enjoy competing in quartets and have had many opportunities to do so over the years. Current regional quartets, which include members from Viva Acapella, are Fortuity, who gained 10th place at the 2019 Internationals, Nova, Decibels, and the Muddy Stilettos. We hope you've enjoyed getting to know Viva Acapella's little corner of our region.
Mind the gap.
You probably know that London is the biggest city in the United Kingdom. Far too big for a 2-minute video, so we're going to show you around the original London, known as the City of London or the Square Mile. It is home to over 2,000 years of history, has its own city mayor and city police force, and contains one of the world's most important financial districts. It's also the home of London City Singers, who travel from all over London and the South East to rehearse in St James Garlic Hive, a 17th century church in the heart of the city. The city was founded by the Romans in the 1st century AD and was given the name Londinium. The Romans built walls and gates around Londinium, the remains of which can still be seen today. The Romans withdrew from Britain in the 5th century and the Anglo-Saxons eventually resettled the city. Following the Battle of Hastings in 1066, William the Conqueror marched on London and eventually built the Tower of London just outside the remaining walls to keep an eye on this powerful city which flourished in the medieval period. Perhaps the most iconic landmark in the city is St Paul's Cathedral. It's estimated that the church stood on this site from the 7th century AD. The current cathedral was completed in 1710 after its predecessor was ruined in the Great Fire of London in 1666. Despite having a 2,000-year history, many buildings have been destroyed in different fires and also during the Blitz in World War II. Some were rebuilt and some left space for more modern developments. This means any given street in the city can have buildings from all different centuries and historical eras right next to each other. 21st century architecture in the city is defined by some well-known and interestingly named skyscrapers such as the Walkie-Talkie, Cheese Grater and the Gherkin. The City of London is serviced by the London Underground, established in 1853, with 7 different lines running through the city and 8 different tube stations. Commuters and tourists can also travel into 7 different train stations or use the DLR. And so completes this whistle-stop tour of our unique city within a city.
If the words green and pleasant land were written about anywhere, then surely it's Surrey in England. Hi, I'm Lorraine Turner, Director for Surrey Harmony, one of Region 31's oldest established choruses. Whilst we're surrounded by beautiful countryside, our rehearsal takes place just a short walk from this station. This is St Methodist Church where we rehearse. It was built just before the First World War, and we've been rehearsing here for over 25 years.
Last year was our 30th anniversary. We celebrated with special online events. Not the way we planned it, of course, but we still had fun. Surrey Harmony has a long and proud tradition in Sweet Adelines with 7 international appearances. I've been director for 8 years. Recently, we've been singing to improve confidence and stamina. We had a special challenge in May when we had a small group singing somewhere every day. Currently, we have 5 quartets, mostly singing for fun and informal performances. We are especially proud of our competing quartet Oops, whose minion package has become the stuff of legends. Let's take a bit of a tour around. We've got prestigious performing centres. London's first international airport. Plenty of famous names started their careers nearby. And of course, some beautiful countryside and perfect photo opportunities.
Well, that's a whistle-stop tour of our slice of Surrey. We have beautiful countryside, amazing historical buildings and award-winning wineries like this one. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.
Welcome to Fareham, the home of Solent Sounds Chorus, named after the Solent, a very busy strip of water about 20 miles long, dividing the mainland and the Isle of Wight. We also have our quartet, Chatterbox, but I'm not sure what they were named after. Now hold on tight while we give you a very quick guided tour. Fareham has water on 3 sides of its boundary and was key to defending Portsmouth Harbour with Fort Nelson, now the Royal Armouries, and the Roman fortress at Portchester. The fortress later becoming Portchester Castle as it was remodelled by a succession of royal owners. Fareham Town is where we rehearse, in a church hall, but the town has its own theatre, arts centre, bandstand, museum and quayside. Westbury Manor Museum is housed in a Georgian manor house and was previously home to 6 admirals of the fleet, although not all at the same time. Fareham Creek was once a busy port, importing and exporting goods. In Titchfield there is a 13th century abbey which Henry VIII gave to the Earl of Southampton. It was transformed into a grand Tudor mansion and later hosted many royal guests. It is also believed that some of Shakespeare's plays were performed here for the first time. Strawberry growing was a huge industry for Fareham. Swanwick Station was built to transport the strawberries across the country. At its busiest, the station could load 100,000 baskets in one day. Hill Head, our southern beach, faces the Isle of Wight across the Solent, and it is the Solent that hosts a very unique cricket match on Bramble Bank. It's a sandbar in the middle of the Solent which only becomes visible at the low spring tide. The 2 teams take to their boats to reach the sandbar and the tide determines when the game finishes. Our tour is nearly complete as we see the River Hamble with its pink ferry. Yes, it really is pink. The ferry has run for several hundred years, taking passengers and bikes across the river. Scenes were also filmed here for the popular TV series Howard's Way. And so we return to the station and look forward to the next leg of this journey. Welcome to Plymouth, the home of the Mayflower Acapella Chorus.
What does Stockport mean to the Mayflower Acapella Chorus? It's all about solace, peace, freedom and being connected.
Well, as we are the Plymouth Mayflower Chorus and we belong to Sweetheart Alliance, there's a perfect link between Plymouth and the United States. And this is the actual place where it all began. This is the Mayflower Steps, where nearby the Mayflower ship sailed in 1620 to what is now Plymouth, Massachusetts.
So here we are in beautiful sunny Plymouth, the Mayflower Acapella Chorus, here at Firestone Bay, which is right next to Devil's Point, over here, aptly named because of the treacherous currents, but we will be swimming later in Firestone Bay, which is this lovely water before us.
Welcome to the most iconic landmark in Plymouth, Smeaton's Tower, built by John Smeaton a very long time ago, and originally all the way out into the sea and then brought brick by brick onto the home.
Welcome to Taunton, the county town of Somerset, which lies on the River Tone between the Quantock and the Blackdown Hills. Taunton is home to Somerset County Cricket, which was founded in 1875, and is also home to Somerset Cider, of which the county has 24 cider producers, which is more than any other county. Taunton is also home to the inimitable, sensational chorus, led by the much-loved Kirsty Spencer, and who don't half enjoy a good celebratory dinner together.
If you visit Taunton during the summer months, you'll find it ablaze with colour and vibrancy. Its annual Taunton Live Arts Festival hits the streets during June, July and August with the most creative of knitted graffiti or yarn bombing. This year is no exception. Taunton is celebrating the arts and inclusivity and is proudly showing off the UK's first progress rainbow footpath, 69 metres in length, second only in the world to Sydney's 90 metres. Love definitely wins in Taunton this summer, with a trail of 20 large hearts painted by local artists forming a trail around key places of interest in the town. Look out for the Peacock opposite the cricket ground and others lurking in independent shopping areas like the Courtyard. And Ancient Bath Place, originally a medieval thoroughfare, now a shopping experience with buildings dating back to the 17th century.
Other hearts, all designed around the theme of Love Wins, can be found by beautiful buildings. Not least this one, painted by our sensational Liz, which is nestling by the wisteria-clad, family-run Castle Hotel, which funnily enough is next to Taunton Castle, built back in 1129, but now housing the award-winning Museum of Somerset. Willows and wetlands, levels and moors make up much of eastern part of the county, originally known as the land of the summer people. Travelling across the levels, Burrow Mump is encountered on the way to Glastonbury Tor, and nearby is Withy Farm, Pilton, which of course hosts the now world-famous Glastonbury Festival.
Travelling north from Taunton lies the beauty of Exmoor, wild ponies and Selworthy's chocolate box cottages nestling close to the North Somerset coast. Returning to Taunton Station to continue the journey, one final heart, exalting us to love each other for the sake of this planet.
The West Country is indeed marvellous, not just in the summer, but all year round. We could cross the Bristol Channel to visit Wales, which, of course, is part of the Quartet of Nations. However, we currently don't have a chorus there. Perhaps one day we'll have one. After all, the Welsh do love to sing. So we're heading north now, via Bedfordshire and the Midlands.
Hello from Potton. Potton is the home of Phoenix Chorus. Phoenix have been members of Sweet Adeline International and Region 31 since 2006. Although it's only a small town, we haven't time to take you all round it and all the wonderful things in it. So we're going to show you a little mosaic on the wall, which will give you an idea of what Potton has to offer. We did in Potton have a great fire, and it destroyed much of Potton, but it stopped just where you can see the Tudor house, and that is the oldest road in Potton. It is called Sun Street. I live on it. Unfortunately, I wasn't living on it when it was the Great Fire, because the beams in my roof are charred, but they've held that house up for over 500 years. We've had 3 rehearsal sites in Potton, and I'm just walking you down now with the help of my camera woman, Sue. Hello. Down to our second venue. Our first venue was the Scout Hut, which was memorable for the overhead heaters, which, as you can imagine, was not a pleasant singing experience. But we are going now to what was the old fire station, and then in the Second World War became a dance hall, which was full of life. And that's where we had our second home. Our current home is the school, because like many choruses, we outgrew this little community centre. And that's Phoenix. This is Potton. And we are Linda and Sue saying bye.
This is the concert hall, which will be a very familiar sight to many of you, as we've had a couple of regional conventions here. It opened in 1982. It's got a capacity of 2,499 people. This is Nottingham Theatre Royal, built in 1865 and updated in the 1970s. Here's a couple of the chorus ladies paying tribute to Brian Clough, who managed Nottingham Forest between 1975 and 1993. During that time, they won the European Cup twice. Here's another landmark of Nottingham, the Robin Hood statue, made of bronze, unveiled in 1952. And it's a must for a photo opportunity in Nottingham.
These scooters, they're part of our culture in Nottingham now. They're supplied by Nottingham City Council.
So here we are at the Emmet Clock, the Aqua Horological Tintinnabulator.
And welcome to Belper. We are home of Ignite UK Chorus. We are a 47-member strong chorus with our musical director Zach Bulls. We have 1/4 of Nightfall amongst our chorus, who are the Region 31 quartet winners. Speaking of Pride at Belper, we also take part in the East Midlands Bloom competition. We won gold in 2019, so we are very much Belper in bloom, and you can see the hard work that goes into it. You'll see the circle part there is actually part of a wheel from the mill, which is where we'll head on to next. Belper was one of the first cotton mill towns in England, and the Strutt family, who built the mills, were one of the first families to build cottages for their workers. And if you listen carefully, you can almost hear the boots on the cobblestones, which lead to the boots of Belper Football Club. As you can see, the boots of Belper Football Club lead us here to Belper Football Club, where we've been rehearsing in our COVID-free environment. As you can see, there's a home match on today. I hope the boys are doing well. Just next to Belper Football Club, where we rehearse, is Belper Mill, a beautiful building and one of the first five-room buildings built by the Strutts of the mill town, using cast iron rather than timber. So as you can see, Belper is a beautiful place to live in, and Ignite UK are a beautiful chorus to sing in. Thank you. Bye.
From here, we've got a couple of choruses that we could visit: Sheffield Harmony in Sheffield and Backbeat Acapella in Macclesfield, which is just south of Manchester, where IES 2019 took place. Unfortunately, both are on summer holidays, so we'll continue on to see Region 31's current and still champions, Heartbeat, in Stockport.
Welcome to Stockport. Stockport is full of must-see attractions. Of course, Heartbeat Chorus is the number one. But there's also lovely parks and museums to discover. There's the Town Hatworks Museum, the beautiful restored staircase house, which is situated in Stockport's historic marketplace. It's the home and birthplace of Fred Perry, and also Stockport was featured in many of Lowry's famous paintings. Come and say hello if you're ever passing by. It'd be lovely to see you.
Wigan has two central train stations, Wigan Wallgate and Wigan North Western, just 100 metres apart. It is extremely easy for us to access the rest of the country, and in relatively short journeys can find ourselves in major UK cities such as Manchester, Liverpool, Edinburgh and London. One of Wigan's most famous exports is George Formby, OBE. He is considered Britain's first properly homegrown screen comedian. We have a statue of Formby in our shopping centre, the Grand Arcade. The canal and our famous Wigan Pier was integral to our history as a mill town, and where our chorus name comes from. Many of our cotton mills are still standing, having become part of our regeneration. Our coal mining history and the subsidence that occurred means we have a range of beautiful flashes to enjoy. Pennington Flash and the Three Sisters are just two of these, and we are so lucky to have them on our doorstep. They are beautiful places to walk all year round, and even in the winter, their beauty does not fade. We have many beautiful areas of nature, and one major one is Hayhall Country Park. The hall itself, built between 1827 and 1840, is very special to the people of Wigan, and Milltown have been lucky enough to sing inside on many occasions. In the town centre, Grade 2 listed Mains Park can be explored. Sir Francis Powell's bronze foot is often rubbed for good luck. The main feature of the park is the pavilion at its centre, which is now a cafe. Wigan Little Theatre, built in 1893, became a playhouse in 1948 and is still going strong today, putting on many plays and pantomimes. Our links with industry continue with the Heinz factory, which has been in Wigan since 1959. Here the famous Heinz beans are made, and it was announced recently that they are going to start making their famous ketchup and mayonnaise here too. Sport is Wigan's other crowning achievement, and Wigan is home to the DW Stadium, home to Rugby League side Wigan Warriors and Football's League One side Wigan Athletic. Both teams have achieved great things in their discipline. We are proud to be from Wigan.
We're now about to enter the land of bagpipes, whisky and haggis. First stop is Edinburgh.
Welcome to Edinburgh. We're Forth Valley Chorus.
Our chorus was founded over 30 years ago and is now directed by the wonderful David Sangster. We have over 100 members and are 7-time regional champions and are the first chorus from our region, Region 31, to come in the top 10 international.
Forth Valley Chorus has 4 quartets, Element, Word of Mouth and the Swingettes, who have all competed at regional, and we're the Moneypennies. Yay! We're also lucky enough to have a small group, Incognito, and a trio, Black Velvet.
The monument behind me is a memorial to the famous Edinburgh author Sir Walter Scott. His first book, Waverley, is what our train station was named after. There are 64 statues, all of other Scottish people and other Scottish authors and poets as part of this Gothic building that is sometimes nicknamed Thunderbirds 3 because of its likeness to the spacecraft.
The highlight of our wee tour today is the glorious Edinburgh Castle, built high on top of an extinct volcano.
Before the Union of 1707, when Scotland and England were united under one crown, Scotland had their own crown jewels here at the castle. They went missing though for over a century, only to be rediscovered by Sir Walter Scott himself. He was a very busy man back then. Another fun fact about Edinburgh Castle, there's lots of ghosts there, one of which is a poor lonely bagpiper who was dispatched to the tunnels underneath never to be seen again. It's thought he can be heard, still to this day, piping underneath, waiting to be rescued. We hope you've enjoyed our brief facts from historical Edinburgh. We're now going to finish with a few images from the outskirts of our beautiful city. Bye-bye! Bye.
That was us back in 2019, just when we qualified to go to international. Welcome to Aberdeen, the home of Aberdeen Chorus and our quartets, focus on singularity and standards and sparkle. We have so much to show you in this wonderful city of ours, so let's get started. Welcome to Marshall College. You can see from this building why Aberdeen is known as the Granite City, and sitting in front, a statue of King Robert the Bruce. Marshall College was first constructed in 1837. And in 1860, it merged with King's College. This campus is the home of over 15,000 students here in Aberdeen. And in fact, this campus is one of several owned by the University of Aberdeen. Now, let's take you to somewhere where you can unwind.
Unwind? Are you joking? Welcome to St Haven Sea Safari. It's a family-run business run by one of our own members, me. It's a great way to see local wildlife around Stonehaven. We've got a lovely coastline and it's a thrilling in it.
You can also visit Aberdeen Beach, which is 3.3 miles long. There you can walk on the pond, you can go to a roller coaster, or you can go to one of the cafes nearby. What we've also got here is a beach ballroom, marvellous 1929 Art Deco building with an amazing front floor. Talking of historic landmarks,
Here we are, His Majesty's Theatre, established in 1903, and we've had the pleasure of performing here on many, many occasions. But to get here,
We have to start here. Pearl Aberdeen is where we have had a rehearsal since 2016. We held our last rehearsal in March 2020 before we moved to Surrey. But now,
we rehearse here. This is Crombie Park, where we've been having rehearsals in small groups since the end of May. The weather has been really good, so we're hoping that this continues. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your journey.
We hope you've enjoyed our journey through the Quartet of Nations, and maybe one day we'll welcome you in person. We'd love to.